Welcome to Sports Talk with Kifue, and I'm your host, Kifue Njabulo Mahlam. Alright, let's get into the reaction of the Liverpool match, right? I'm gonna hit two topics, right? I'm gonna get to two topics. Let's first react to the game. First and foremost, that match wasn't a 7-0 game. Like, Liverpool were exceptionally good, but that wasn't a 7-0 game. It really wasn't. Anyone who watched it knew that game wasn't a 7-0 game. And the first goal comes because KO gets dragged by Naby Keita. I'm always talking about this. Center backs are always making dumb decisions. One is always getting dragged. Most center backs are always getting dragged by one player. Once they get dragged, that's why movement is very important in a team. And you have to have selfless people that are willing to just run in front of. All you have to do in front of a center back is you run past him, just drag him a bit, and then opens up space for someone to pass. Because when Naby Keita ran across, dragged KL, opened a huge space, and then Trent just hits the ball there. Now it leaves Kouyaté one-on-one with Mane and Klein one-on-one with Minamino. And Mane turns, passes it to Minamino. Minamino fakes, hits it in the net. And after they go 1-0, Liverpool were very dominant before they went 1-0. But after the Palace go 1-0 behind, well, Palace start after the first 10 or 15 minutes, even after the goal, they're still a bit under the cosh. But Palace just kept on roaring. They came back. Palace looked like they were going to score, and they did not take their chances. And even the chances where they just needed that final ball to just go to the right person so that they can finish it off, they didn't do that. And at that moment, I was kind of like, this is not going to end well. And it really didn't end well because Liverpool go and get a second and they get a third. It really wasn't a 3-0 half. But at that point, when you're going to the half, at halftime 3-0 down, and you know you're dealing with the league champions, you're demoralized already. Like, we are not coming back from this. You won't say it out loud, but when you look around the dressing room and you're like, I don't have fighters. We don't have enough to win this match. That's what I think was going on in the heads of those players at Palace. Like, sometimes you just look around like, now we can't come back. You as a person have to know what kind of team or what kind of players you guys have and what you can come back from, right? Let's say you 3-0 down. The first goal is very important. If you go 3-1, then at least you get some momentum, right? But when they came back, Liverpool just seemed energized. They looked energized. They looked like a better team. So they just went on to score 4, 5. I mean, Firmino had a brace. I mean, your defense, Firmino had a brace. And Salah comes on and he scores the first goal, but the second one, whips it into that top corner. Top bins. No keeper is getting that. Top bins. That's all that Mo Salah did. Put it in the top bins. And it wasn't a 7-0 type of match, but it just went that way. Liverpool had 8 shots on target, 7 goals. That's ridiculous efficiency. It won't happen every match, but Palace, it shows how unlucky Palace were. Like, if someone takes 8 shots and if they have 8 shots on target and they score 7, that's ridiculous efficiency. That's like 90-something%. It won't happen in the next match, but it happened in this match, and you just have to accept it. Like, sometimes you just have to hold your hands up and be like, they were just better than us in this game. We get them the next time, or we'll play better the next time. Maybe luck will be on our side. But in that match, nah, they weren't. And this was Palace's biggest home loss ever. This was Palace's biggest Premier League home loss ever. They lost 7-0. And this was Liverpool's biggest away win since the 1800s, like 1896 or something like that. That was the last time Liverpool won with such a margin. Imagine in the 1800s, they're setting records with you. That match wasn't really a 7-0 match. It really wasn't. But Liverpool are just on that crest of, they're on that wave. It's a dynasty. I remember when Van Dijk got injured and Liverpool still carried on winning. Liverpool players were getting injured. And that's when I was like, okay, let me see what they do now. Most of the key players are out. And they kept on winning. And that's when I told my brother, I was like, Klopp has got a dynasty on his hands. I was like, now I'm a believer that Klopp has a dynasty on his hands. Because that's usually what Sir Alex did. He put out crappy teams and they'd win. Klopp was putting out basically crappy teams and they're winning. So for me, that's a hallmark of a dynasty and a great manager. If you're able to win with a crappy team against good teams, then I'm like, dynasty. This person could build a dynasty in that Liverpool. Liverpool have got a dynasty. The mentality in that dressing room is elite, full of winners. Even the people coming off the bench, they're feeling the pressure. They know what's expected of them. They're leaders in that group. Whereas with Palace, even in the centre-back position. But anyway, Liverpool play a ridiculously high line. I don't know where Klopp got this ridiculous idea, but all of Palace's very good attacks came from because Liverpool play a ridiculously high line and none of the two centre-backs are really fast. So if someone actually puts in a good ball or does anything good and puts it in behind, puts it in between the keeper and the centre-backs, and they have a quick enough striker or winger to get on that ball, and then they make the right decisions, you can score 7 against Liverpool. You see what Aston Villa did. That high line is just ridiculous. Klopp needs to fix that. It's the same thing as Sheffield. How are you as Sheffield after going 1-0 ahead of a Man United team playing a high line? That's just you being dumb. What you have to do is, Man United have had a problem with breaking down low block defenses. You put everyone behind the ball and then you hit them on the counter. I don't think some of these managers think though, but Klopp is a great manager. There's just one thing he has to fix. That high line is the only thing that I have an issue with. But other than that, everything is very great. And with Crystal Palace, Kouyaté and Cahill, it seems like there's 2 leaders in that centre-back pairing. There needs to be one leader, one voice that everyone listens to. If you look at the second goal, Kouyaté is running his own line and Cahill is in his own line. So there's no communication. The communication isn't it isn't what it's supposed to be. The coach is supposed to say, only one person leads this centre-back pairing. He leads the entire back line. That's from grade school, wherever, grassroots football, that's what they teach you. Basics of defending. Everyone in a line. Only one person calls the shots. Because if too many people call the shots, then y'all get confused. But if only one voice, only need one voice. You don't need 2 leaders, one voice. That's why they're saying too many Chiefs and not enough Indians. I think that's what they had in that back line. Need to only have one leader, and then everything is sorted. One voice. Everything has to come from one person. I don't get this thing of center backs not communicating and having too many leaders. You have to have only one leader in a defense. You can't have too many people talking. Then that's how things go haywire. And are Liverpool title contenders, or are they favorites to retain their title? I think they are. They've had injuries to key players, and they still kept pace on winning, and they just beat Tottenham, who looked the most organized side in the Premier League. So how is anyone topping? I don't think anyone is fetching Tottenham. I mean Liverpool, because you look at City can't seem to buy goals at the moment. If their form changes going forward, then yeah, I can buy that. But if they don't, then I don't buy it. But Liverpool right now, favorites to win the league. Oh, please leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.